Okay, so we're diving deep today into Ashley Segura's presentation, 100 New Topic Ideas.
Yeah, this one's a good one.
Yeah, with like 7.5 million blog posts going live every day. Her data-driven approach is, less of a cheat sheet and more like essential gear for survival, right?
Totally. I mean, it's so easy to just feel completely lost in the ocean of content out there. But Ashley's system is really interesting because it goes beyond, just finding any old topic. It's about uncovering those kind of hidden gems, the ones that rank high and that are super specific to the audience you want.
Exactly. And she starts with this 7-step process, which honestly, at first glance, I was like, okay, is this going to be like a textbook thing? But then she actually like unpacks each step. And you're like, oh, okay, I can actually use this.
Yeah, that's what I love about Ashley's stuff. It's so practical. Like, take the first step, the content audit. She doesn't want you to just like check a box and move on.
Yeah.
You really have to dig deep into your existing content. What's working, what's resonating, where are people engaging? Because sometimes we're sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it.
So we've got our existing content polished up, and now it's time for step 2, content gap analysis. And this is where I got really intrigued. It's like playing detective, but for content marketing.
Right. You're looking for those holes in your competitor's strategy. What are they missing? What questions are they not answering? And then that's where you swoop in and become the go-to source.
And she doesn't just say, do it. She gives you the tools, like SEMrush's keyword gap tool.
Yeah.
Actionable advice. But then she takes it even further with step 3, competitor research.
I have to admit, I was a little wary here. Like, is this ethical? Is this borderline plagiarism?
I had the same thought, but Ashley's really clear. It's not about copying. It's about inspiration.
Yeah.
You're looking at what's working for your competitors, seeing those top-ranking topics, and then figuring out how you can create something even better, even more insightful, something more tailored to your audience.
Okay, good. That's a relief. And then step 4 is where things get really interesting because Ashley is all about talking to real people. Your sales team, customer service reps, the people on the front lines. They're hearing the questions every single day.
Right, and that's pure gold when it comes to brainstorming content ideas.
Totally. Data can only tell us so much, but hearing those real questions, the pain points, the things people are actually struggling with, that's where the real value comes in.
Agreed. And then step 5, this is where Ashley brings in AI. Now, I'm a little bit of an AI skeptic, I have to say, but the way she presents it, it's not about AI replacing human creativity. It's more like having this super-powered research assistant.
That's a great way to put it. She uses tools like RFs and ChatGPT to come up with those secondary topic ideas, and then you can build out those content clusters that offer real depth and value to your audience.
And speaking of value, that takes us to step 6, understanding user intent. And this is where Ashley's data-driven approach really shines because it's not just about throwing a bunch of keywords onto a page. It's about understanding what the user's actually looking for. Are they looking for information? Are they ready to buy something? Or are they just trying to get to a specific website you need to tailor your content to that intent?
100%. And then finally, step 7, creating that helpful content outline. This is where Ashley really emphasizes structure and clarity. You've got all these brilliant ideas. Now you have to organize them in a way that's engaging, easy to digest, and actually answers the user's questions.
Okay, so we've walked through Ashley's 7 steps, and I'm already feeling inspired. What really stood out to you about her approach?
What strikes me is just how she combines data and human insight. It's not just about looking at the numbers. It's about understanding why those numbers look the way they do. And that's where listening to your audience comes in.
I totally agree. And I love that it's also practical. She's not just throwing theory at you. It's real-world examples, specific tools, and actionable steps that you can actually implement, like today.
Exactly. And I think that's why so many people are drawn to Ashley's work. It's not just inspirational, it's empowering. She's giving you the tools and the knowledge to go out and create content that makes a difference. One thing that Ashley really emphasizes is that we often overlook the power of what's already working. It's easy to get so caught up in like chasing the next big trend.
Right.
But her advice to lean into your winners, it just really resonated with me.
That's so true. I think we're always looking for that next shiny object when we probably have perfectly good content just sitting there.
Exactly, gathering dust, and that's where that content audit. Ashley's step 1 comes in. She actually suggests doing this like quarterly and looking at your top performing pieces, but not just based on page views.
Okay.
It's about really understanding which content is actually driving your business goals. Are people signing up for your email list? Are they downloading your lead magnet? That's the real measure of success.
So we figured out what our winners are, What do we do next?
Well, Ashley suggests brainstorming ways to repurpose, update, or expand on that content. So think like turning a blog post into an infographic or a video. Maybe you have a webinar that's really killer. You could break that down into shorter social media posts.
So it's all about getting more mileage out of the content that's already proven to be effective.
Exactly. And that brings us to another one of Ashley's gems, content gap analysis. Ooh, this is where we put on our detective hats.
I love it.
And look for those opportunities that our competitors are missing. Remember those holes in their strategy we were talking about?
Yeah.
This is how we find them.
It's like we're trying to find those hidden trails that lead to like a secret waterfall.
I love that. And Ashley has the map.
Yeah.
She walks us through using SEMrush's keyword gap tool to actually compare our keyword rankings to our competitors. And this can reveal keywords that they're ranking for that we're not. Or even keywords that we're both ranking for, but they're outranking us.
So it's not just about finding new keywords. It's about seeing where we can improve our existing rankings.
Exactly. It all fits together.
It's like puzzle pieces. I love it.
And Ashley even gives you like a step-by-step guide on using SEMrush, filtering those results to zero in on those high-value keywords.
I was going to say, this is so much more helpful than just like reading a blog post about this stuff, having you here to break it down and add your own insights.
Happy to help.
It's a game changer.
Now, remember, we talked about the importance of asking real people for those content ideas.
Oh, yeah. Tapping into those sales and customer service teams.
Yes, they are like walking treasure chests of user insights.
They are.
And Ashley goes beyond just like casual conversations. She suggests sending out questionnaires to recent customers, listen in on sales calls, have regular check-ins with those customer-facing teams. This is going to uncover those golden nuggets of content ideas that are guaranteed to resonate with your audience because they're based on real questions and real pain points.
Okay, so we've mined our existing content, we've analyzed our competitors, and we've talked to our sales and customer service teams. What other tricks does Ashley have up her sleeve?
Well, she's a big fan of leveraging AI, and I have to say she makes a pretty compelling case for using tools like RFs and ChatGPT to generate secondary topic ideas and build out those all-important content clusters.
I'll admit I was a little bit skeptical about the whole AI thing at first, but I'm starting to see the potential. It's not about replacing us. It's about amplifying our creativity.
Exactly. It's like having a brainstorming partner who can just process massive amounts of data and spit out these relevant ideas in seconds. Ashley even gives you specific prompts for ChatGPT. Like you can ask it, what are some related topics to your seed keyword, or what questions are people asking about your seed keyword?
Okay, that's super helpful. I can already imagine how much time this could save.
Hours and hours of research and brainstorming.
Yeah.
And speaking of saving time, one of Ashley's most valuable insights is the importance of understanding user intent. It's not enough to just target keywords. We need to create content that aligns with what users are actually searching for.
Right. Like if someone searches for best running shoes,
Yeah.
they're probably not ready to buy right then and there. They're still in that research phase.
Yeah,
So if you hit them with a product page and a buy now button, that's probably not going to be the best approach.
exactly. Ashley actually breaks down user intent into 4 main categories: informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional.
Okay, let's break those down. Informational intent. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. Someone's looking for information on a specific topic.
Right, like how to change a tire, or what's the capital of France.
Navigational intent. That's when someone's trying to find a specific website or page.
Right, like Facebook login or Amazon customer service.
Commercial intent. This is when someone's researching products or services, but they're not quite ready to buy yet.
Yeah, so they might search for best running shoes or cheap flights to Hawaii.
And then transactional intent.
Right.
This is when someone is ready to buy, they're ready to pull out their credit card.
They know what they want and they're ready to go.
Exactly. So they might search for buy iPhone 13 or book a hotel room in New York City. Okay, so now we know the different types of user intent. How do we use this information to create better content?
Well, Ashley provides this really helpful table that outlines the different types of user intent and the corresponding content solutions. So for example, if someone is searching for best running shoes with commercial intent, you might create a blog post comparing different running shoes or like a guide to choosing the right shoe for your foot type.
Okay, so it's about meeting the user's needs at each stage of their journey, not just trying to push them towards a sale.
Exactly. Ashley also recommends going beyond those traditional keyword research tools
Okay.
and looking at places like forums, social media groups, even Amazon reviews to understand how people are talking about a particular topic.
So it's about understanding the language they're using.
Yeah, their tone. What questions are they asking?
It's like you become a fly on the wall in your target audience's living room.
I love that.
You get to hear all their unfiltered thoughts and opinions.
And that's incredibly valuable for creating content that resonates. But Ashley does remind us that user intent can evolve over time.
Right.
So it's important to go back, revisit our content, and make sure it's still aligned with those latest search trends.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. Now, once we have a solid understanding of our audience and their intent, Ashley guides us towards crafting that all-important, helpful content outline.
Okay, this is where I struggle sometimes. I have all these ideas swirling around in my head, but getting them organized into an outline can be a challenge.
I hear you, but Ashley breaks it down into these manageable steps.
Okay.
Emphasizing structure, clarity, and answering the user's questions in a really comprehensive and engaging way.
Mm-hmm.
She encourages us to think of each piece of content as a mini masterclass, guiding the reader through the information in a way that's both informative and enjoyable.
I like that it's not just about throwing information onto a page. It's about crafting an experience.
Right. And she gives some really specific tips for creating an outline that's both SEO-friendly and user-friendly.
Okay.
She recommends starting by researching the top-ranking content for your target keyword to kind of get a sense of what's already working well.
Don't reinvent the wheel, right?
Exactly. And then she suggests using tools like phrase.io and Surfer SEO to analyze that top-ranking content and identify patterns in headings, subheadings, word count.
Okay.
These tools can give you valuable insights into what Google likes and what users find engaging.
So we've done our research.
Yeah.
We've analyzed the competition. Now it's time to actually start writing.
And Ashley stresses the importance of using clear, concise language and breaking your content into digestible chunks. No one wants to wade through a wall of text, no matter how brilliant your ideas are.
I'm definitely guilty of writing really long paragraphs sometimes.
I too. We all have our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Ashley also advocates for using visuals like images, videos, infographics to enhance readability and engagement.
Right, because a well-placed visual can break up the text and make complex concepts easier to understand.
For sure. Plus, visuals can be a great way to appeal to different learning styles. Some people are visual learners, others prefer to read.
Right.
She actually provides a helpful checklist of content and quality questions from Google's Search Quality Rater guidelines. These questions are designed to assess the quality and helpfulness of a web page, and she encourages content creators to use this checklist as a guide to make sure that their content meets Google's standards for high-quality content.
So we're using clear language, breaking things down into digestible chunks, incorporating visuals. What else do we need to keep in mind?
Well, Ashley emphasizes the importance of using keyword modifiers to make our content more specific and targeted.
Okay.
So, for example, instead of just targeting the keyword baked pork chops, you might target juicy baked pork chops or easy baked pork chops.
Okay, so it's about getting more granular with our keywords to attract a more qualified audience.
Exactly, and improve our chances of ranking well for those specific long-tail keywords. But she does caution against letting those keyword modifiers dilute your topic.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're writing about baked potato soup, you wouldn't want to include the keyword bacon in your title or headings if bacon is not a primary ingredient in your recipe.
Right, because that could confuse search engines and prevent your content from ranking well for baked potato soup.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between relevance and specificity.
I like that.
And speaking of sweet spots, Ashley is a big believer in using tools to streamline that content creation process.
Yeah.
She recommends using tools like SEMrush's topic research tool and phrase.io to get insights into what's already ranking well, identify those relevant subtopics, even generate outlines and briefs.
So many helpful tools.
Right.
It's amazing how much technology can assist us in the content creation process these days.
It really is. But Ashley also stresses the importance of using our own judgment and expertise.
Yes.
Tools can be helpful, but they should never replace our own critical thinking and creativity.
It's a great reminder. We need to be the drivers of our content strategy, not just the passive passengers.
Exactly. And speaking of driving, Ashley concludes her presentation with a reminder that content strategy is an ongoing process. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
We've touched on this before, but it's worth repeating. Content strategy is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah. Right. She advocates for dedicating 60% of our time and resources to updating and optimizing existing content and 40% to creating new content.
Okay, that split again, just to remind everyone, is 60% existing content, 40% new content.
Yeah. And this ensures that we're constantly refining and improving our content library, keeping it fresh and relevant for our audience.
It's like tending a garden.
Yeah.
You need to prune and fertilize the existing plants as well as plant new seeds.
I love that it's about creating a sustainable content ecosystem that thrives over time.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive so far. What are some of the key takeaways that stand out to you?
I think Ashley's emphasis on a data-driven approach is incredibly valuable. It takes the guesswork out of content creation and allows us to make those informed decisions based on real insights.
Absolutely, and she backs up her recommendations with practical examples and actionable tips. This isn't just theory, it's a roadmap to success.
I also appreciate her focus on the importance of creating helpful content. It's a good reminder that content marketing isn't just about selling products or services, it's about providing value to our audience and building relationships.
I love that point. We need to shift our mindset from what can we get from our audience to what can we give to our audience.
Exactly, and Ashley provides a wealth of tools and strategies to help us achieve that goal.
Okay, let's dive into one of those strategies that I think is particularly relevant to our listeners understanding our audience.
You know, it's funny, we spend all this time creating the perfect content, but sometimes it feels like we're just shouting into a void.
Right, like if a blog post goes live in the forest and no one's around to read it, does it even make a sound?
Exactly. And that's where Ashley's advice on content promotion comes in.
Okay.
She says creating great content is just the first step we also need to get it in front of our target audience. Think of it like launching a blockbuster movie. You need a killer marketing campaign to get people into those seats.
So what's Ashley's secret formula for content promotion? Does she have like a magic wand we can borrow?
No magic wand, unfortunately, but she does recommend a multi-pronged approach, which makes sense. You know, we need to hit those promotional touch points where our audience is actually hanging out.
Okay.
So that means social media marketing, email marketing, maybe even reaching out to influencers in our niche. And yes, sometimes paid advertising might be necessary to give that content that initial boost.
Right. The organic reach these days, it's like...
mythical creature.
It really is.
But here's another smart tactic Ashley suggests, repurposing our content into different formats.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just about reaching a wider audience, it's also about catering to different learning styles. Some people prefer to read, some like to watch, others want to listen. So why not turn that blog post into an infographic, a video, or even a podcast episode?
Okay, that's a brilliant idea. It's like giving your content a whole new wardrobe to wear for different occasions. But let's circle back to something we touched on earlier, something that really resonated with me. Ashley's 60-40 rule. 60% of our time optimizing existing content, 40% creating new. Why does she emphasize this so much?
Well, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of creating new content, right? The blank page, the fresh ideas, it's seductive.
It is.
But Ashley reminds us that our existing content library is a goldmine of untapped potential.
Right.
I mean, we've already invested time and energy into creating these pieces. Why not breathe new life into them?
It's like those home renovation shows where they take a dated house and transform it into something amazing.
Yeah.
You don't always need to tear everything down and start from scratch.
Exactly. And updating our existing content isn't just about slapping on a fresh coat of paint. Ashley recommends getting strategic about it. Update outdated information, add new insights, maybe expand on certain sections based on what's resonating with our audience, improve the readability, the formatting, and don't forget to optimize for those relevant keywords, and then shout it from the rooftops, promote that revamped content on social media through our email lists.
Okay, this has been a whirlwind tour of Ashley's presentation. So much valuable information. Before we wrap up, let's distill it down to some key takeaways for our listeners. What are the essential nuggets they should walk away with?
First and foremost, remember that content strategy is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about continuous analysis, refinement, and improvement.
Second, data is our friend. Let's embrace those tools like Google Analytics and SEMrush to track our content's performance and make data-driven decisions.
Third, AI isn't the enemy. Tools like our refs and ChatGPT can be incredible allies in our content creation journey, but let's use them strategically, not blindly. Human creativity and expertise are still essential.
Fourth, our audience is our North Star. Let's create content that genuinely aligns with their needs, interests, and search intent.
And finally, let's not forget about promoting that amazing content we've created. Spread the word far and wide.
Ashley's presentation is truly a gift to content creators. She demystifies the process, provides practical tools and strategies, and reminds us that creating content that resonates is within our reach. It's about working smarter, not harder, and always remembering that human connection is at the heart of it all.
Here's a final thought for our listeners. How can you apply Ashley's insights to craft a content strategy that aligns with your unique goals and resources? What steps can you take today to start creating content that makes a real difference?
Those are excellent questions to ponder, and on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Ashley Segura's 100 New Topic Ideas presentation. We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did. Until next time, keep learning, keep creating, and keep diving deep.